Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Project E46. Today I'm continuing my goal of making the E46 sound cooler while I'm on the track slaying tires. And I'm going to be doing that by installing this K&N air intake for the car. Not only should this make the car sound cooler on throttle, but the coolest thing about this kit is that it only requires the use of two tools to assemble. Flathead screwdriver and a 10mm socket. So let's get to it. Okay, so I was able to pick up this lightly used K&N intake kit off Craigslist for an agreeable price, and now it's time to install it. Step one is obviously take out the stock intake. Again, like I said, very simple, just follow along and I'll show you how to do it. So again, for those of you who can't remember, this is a 1999 328i, so it's an M52 TU engine, but the intake system's pretty similar across all E46s. Alright, so we're going to need to remove this vacuum hose right here. It should just pull out, hopefully. Don't break it. It's pretty common to break those. Then we need to unclip our MAF sensor. The best way I found to do this is take a flathead screwdriver, put it in flat like this, and then just twist it up like that and pop it up. Then you get a finger under there, pull a little clip out, unclip the MAF. Watch out, it's really easy to lose these little C-clips. I have to put them back in the little MAF pigtail before we go any further so you don't lose this or drop it like I have done a bunch of times. There we go. Okay, so next up we need to remove the airbox element. That's this guy right here. Now, normally OEM BMW intakes are pretty cool because they actually kind of work like factory cold air intakes. They usually have like a little ram air thing that goes above the radiator here and force feeds air into the airbox. Unfortunately, my car is missing that piece for whatever reason. It's kind of already a hot air intake, which is a bummer. But yes, we need to remove the airbox element. Very simple. There's a hose clamp right here just behind the MAF. Use a flathead screwdriver to loosen that up. And because we don't have this piece to deal with here, it's really simple. There are two 10mm bolts right here. You need to remove those. Alright, so we have our two 10mm bolts removed, our little hose clamp removed, and we have the MAF unplugged, so now we can remove the airbox element. There we go. There's a little plug here on the bottom of the airbox that sits on this little rubber grommet on the frame rail. You should be able to pull straight up and lift the airbox right out. Okay, so now that we have the airbox removed, this little vacuum hose unclipped, all we need to do is remove this upper intake boot. Now all you need to do, since we've already removed the MAF side of things, is to remove the hose clamp back down here. Kind of just look down there, you'll see it, very simple. Same deal, flathead screwdriver, or if you have, I think it's like a 1/4 inch, put a socket on there. The only thing tricky about this is just reaching. It's a bit tough because your angle. Now, trying to tear this boot, it's really easy to tear it. There we go. All right, intake boot is off. Now we have an exposed air intake area, the perfect place to install this new sweet K&N. Okay, so we have the stock intake removed. And before we install the K&N, I just want to do a quick inventory of what we got. Air filter element, pretty straightforward. Replacement air intake tube right here, a little silicone joiner, stamped K&N, and here's a little provision for the little vacuum line up there. Hose clamp, hardware. Now, K&N includes this enclosure that's supposed to sort of replicate and be maybe even superior to the factory airbox solution. Basically, the premise here is that this is blocking hot air coming from the engine, so it doesn't heat soak the filter element before it goes into the MAF. And this, in theory, helps the car run better. So we have that bracket, and then one more hose clamp. Again, really straightforward, really simple on these cars. Let's get to installing it. Okay, so I'm pretty bad at reading instructions. It also helps the fact that this kit, because I bought it used, didn't come with any. And I'm sure there's instructions online, but I'm too dumb to look. But it seems pretty straightforward, so we're gonna see if I can just guess and figure it out. So I'm gonna start with this enclosure piece. I believe, I could be totally wrong, but I believe it goes like this. A little rubber grommet the stock intake sits on. You actually take this out. It's actually just clipped on like this. Pretty simple. Unclip that, pull it straight up. And that exposes visible studs on the frame rail. which line up with 2 pre-drilled holes in this bracket. So you slip the bracket over those 2 holes, or studs I guess, like this. And then we're gonna look for presumably a nut and a washer in this little kit right here that's included with the K&N. And there's one more screw included with the K&N kit. I'm assuming it goes right here because that seems to line up pretty well. Now for my sake, just so I don't lose this in case I ever run the stock airbox, I'm just gonna screw this back in. All right, so I've left everything kind of loose on this little enclosure just so I can kind of move things around as needed. The next step is to install this replacement K&N intake tube. And K&N includes replacement hose clamps for everything, but I've recently actually gone through here and replaced hose clamps on my own, so I'm probably gonna stick with what I got. So I need to get this barb out of this little vacuum hose, and I think the best way to do it is kind of just twist and pull and hope I don't break it. So I bought this kit used, and I wasn't quite sure what this was for, but it seems like, I'm guessing the previous owner had the same issue with getting this barb out of this hose and kind of just developed this. It seems to fit on both pieces pretty well, like that. Huh, it's actually not a bad solution. Why not? That'll work for now. Now the biggest question I had while I was trying to put all this together is how does the filter go through this hole? Because it seems like this hole is actually slightly undersized for this filter or this hose clamp. So I gotta figure that out. I don't know if this bracket is like tweaked or what, but this tube definitely does not fit this car. Do you ever have a moment when you realize how stupid you are? I forgot to put the MAF in. This explains a lot. Hey, there we go, now it all makes sense. I'm just a moron. So the air filter slides over the end of the MAF fits perfectly in that hole, and this coupler joins the K&N intake tube to the MAF. Learn your lesson from me, I'm really stupid. That explains a lot of things. That also explains why I have all these extra hose clamps. Okay, now we slide this guy between the MAF and the K&N intake tube. Hey, now it all makes sense. All right. Go. All right, we're done. Let's fire this thing up, see what it sounds like. And now that slightly embarrassing DIY install is over, it's time to go drive the car around. Now the big thing about intakes is they give you that really nice, sweet induction sound when you're on the throttle really hard. So I'm going to give the E46 a few minutes to warm up, and then we're going to hop on it. Just a quick reminder for those of you who may be new to the build, the car has a rear muffler delete with a turn down I welded on. 95A durometer rev shift engine and transmission mounts, which kind of bring in all the acoustics in the interior. And now it has the Canon intake. Beyond that, it's a stock engine, so stock headers, blah, 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 blah. So let's see how the Canon intake sounds, because I know it's not going to make any more power. Like, it's just not. Like, if it makes the same amount of power, that's great. Hope it doesn't make any less. But yeah, this isn't for power, it's purely for sound. Because when I'm on the track, I want this thing to sound really cool. And right now, when I'm wearing a helmet on the track, I really can't hear anything, which is annoying. And you go drifting to have fun, and having a cool engine that sounds really good is part of the package. So I had a few minutes to let the engine warm up, and now we're gonna hop on and see if we can sound any or hear any difference with the Canon intake. So let's get to it. To say that, at least with the windows down, it kind of sounds the exact same. Yeah, it kind of doesn't really sound any different. That's a letdown. Maybe I'm not completely wrong and you're hearing it on the video and I'm not hearing it here, but it doesn't sound any different to me. Yeah, usually these cars sound pretty good with intakes because they have a pretty good induction note, but it just, none of it's coming through. Huh. Yeah, I was kind of hoping for more. It doesn't really sound different to me at all. Okay, so update, yeah, I can hear it when I free rev. But it kind of just falls to the wayside behind the sound of my exhaust, which isn't even that loud. So, definitely disappointing. I was hoping it would sound much louder, kind of much angrier, but I guess not. So, the journey to make my E46 sound cooler continues.